So there's an Italian winery called Contratto, and even though it was founded in 1867, I only learned about it a couple days ago. And in addition to making wine, they also make vermouth, Americano, Fernet, an aperitif, and a bitter that's a very familiar shade of red. And whenever I see a red liqueur marketed as a bitter, right or wrong, I automatically assume they're trying to take a bite out of the Campari market. But here's the thing. Campari runs for about 30 bucks for a fifth, and this was only 25, and it's a liter, which potentially makes it a Campari killer. But before I try them side by side, I want to try their aperitif, which the woman at the shop said was a solid sub for Aperol. Nose is more subtle, a little bit more herbal. Man, this stuff is good. I could drink this on the rocks all day. Orange, tangerine, slightly bitter. You know what Aperol tastes like. Well, this is a lot less sweet than Aperol, and once the sweetness that is there fades away, you get a lot more gentian bitterness. Yeah, this is nice on its own, but it's definitely not going to fool anyone into thinking it's Aperol. Now let's make a spritz, because it's the only drink I know that uses Aperol as its primary flavor. Don't get me wrong, I love a good paper plane, but you can't really say Aperol is the star of that show. I don't know, leave your favorite Aperol cocktail in the comments.
A few moments later.
Also, while a Campari spritz gets an orange twist, an Aperol spritz always gets a grapefruit twist. People are allowed to disagree on these things, but I'm right. Cheers. Can't go wrong with that. If you're like me, you've had nearly 100 of these, and you know that they never get old. It's almost a perfect drink. A very different experience. The orange peel flavor in the Contratto, which I didn't really get when I was tasting it on its own, is a lot more forward when it's in a spritz. And the perception of increased gentian makes this quite a bit drier as well. Overall, I'd say this is a delightful alternative to Aperol, but a sub it is not. The flavor is quite different. And now, onto the Contratto Bitter. I love these little controlled pour spouts, sometimes. Nose is pretty similar, actually. It's funny, I remember the first time I tasted this, I thought it was the worst thing I'd ever had in my life, and now I love it. Huh. It's less sweet than Campari, but it's less bitter as well. There's none of that characteristic orange flavor that I've come to associate with this guy, and something that almost resembles cranberry. Call me crazy, I think this would make a really good sub for grenadine in cocktails. And maybe it's my brain playing tricks on me, but since I picked up on the cranberry, I'm getting a little bit of baking spice too, but only barely. And we both know there's only one place to go with this: Negronis. Cheersies. That's how that's supposed to taste. It's delightful. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something intrinsically Christmassy about this. I doubt this has cranberry in it, but there's definitely something in there that reminds me of it. But yeah, I think most Negroni fans would be perfectly happy with this. So is Contratto the Campari killer? Absolutely not. Is it a fun thing to play around with? Definitely. The truth is, there are a lot of very cool products that can compete with Campari. There's Gran Classico, there's Luxardo Bitter, but Campari is unique and irreplaceable. The Contratto is not a sub, but it is a fun alternative. If you can get your hands on a bottle, I say do it. Just don't get rid of your bottle of Campari, because there are so many fun things to do with it. Like this.
Turn camera. 102, take one.